Nap time intros. It's my jam. Hi guys, it's Cherie. I have another recipe video coming live at you. Having to do this intro while my kid's asleep, so who knows what it's gonna turn out like. But I have been chomping down on these brownie bites, I guess is what you would call them. I got the original recipe from High Carb Hannah, who is a vegan YouTuber that I'm obsessed with. And I varied her recipe a little bit, and I think they're amazeballs. I count them as simply filling because there's only fruit and grains in it, and those are all simply filling ingredients. Technically, dates are not considered a fruit on Weight Watchers because they are, I think, high calorie, but they're also really high in fiber. I feel like it's a really good natural alternative to artificial sugar or real sugar. So I count them as simply filling. I would count them as, well, no, because they have oats in them, but I count them as simply filling. I did put the recipe into my recipe builder, and depending on how many balls you get, I got about 20. They're between 3 and 4 points each if you're doing points. And then, of course, if you make them smaller, they will be even less points. They are very rich, very delicious. You cannot taste the black beans. My husband was like, he can't stay out of them. And then my neighbor, I let him try one, and he's like, "Are you telling me there's black beans in here?" I'm like, "Yes, there's black beans. And they're delicious." Another thing that happened in this video is that I was filming it while I was also watching my child because my husband wasn't around. So I forgot the main ingredient, which is cocoa powder. So when I'm showing you all the ingredients, I left out half a cup of cocoa powder. I'll put the actual recipe down below for you guys so you can actually see it. So as I'm mixing it the first time around, I'm like, why does this smell like black beans? Because the last time I made it, it smelled like straight up brownies. And I was like, this looks disgusting. It's not even the right color. And then it occurred to me, there's no chocolate in it yet, so it doesn't taste like chocolate. So anyway, so I add it in halfway through the recipe. I don't live the kind of life where I can refilm stuff and like try and make it look professional. Like, this is just what it is. I also added coffee this time, and I super ground it up so it turned more like an actual fudgy brownie. The first time I made it, it was a little more textured, which was totally fine. Still tasted delicious. It was just the oats were a little more pronounced. But I ground it up super ground this time, and girl, they heavenly. So that's enough of this. Let's jump into the video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Hopefully you like these.
Okay, so here's an overview of everything you're going to need, except for imagine that there is a half a cup of cocoa powder. I used fresh dates. You need to take the seeds out because them is nasty. I used about 10 of them, or 200 grams. You need 1 can of rinsed and drained black beans, a sprinkle of salt, 1 cup of oats, and 2 tablespoons of coffee if you want to, vanilla, and some cinnamon or cinnamon. All right, so we're going to put this into a food processor because this is how you process the food. The dates, the reason I weigh them out is because sometimes the dates are bigger, and if your dates are dry, you need to soak them. So if you get them out of the container and their skins are super dry, just soak them in some warm water and they will get all squishy. These are really fresh, so it was nice. So this is easy. You just put it all into your doodad and you push the button, and then you start to stir it, and you're like, wait a minute, why does this smell like beans? I don't know. Let's just keep going with it because obviously we haven't stirred it enough. So that must be the problem. Let's put the lid back on and do some more stirring. Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Let me smell it. I'm leaning over to smell it. Yeah, it still smells like beans. I don't really know. I don't know what I've done wrong here. Oh wait. Doesn't have any freaking chocolate in it. Okay, now it does. All right, half a cup of cocoa powder. I use Ghirardelli. I don't really think that matters, just as long as it's, the chocolat powder, the powder del chocolat. And you're just going to want to grind the crap out of this. Like, you're going to be like, oh man, is this ground enough? And the answer is no. The answer is no. Just keep going. And if stuff starts to clog, just get your handy dandy scooper out and scoop it down until it is properly mixed. And that's going to happen probably because this is thick. This girl thick. Okay. So I scraped it down quite a few times, and really you might not have to mix it as much as I had to if you put all of the ingredients in at once, but I didn't do that. So, do as I say, not as I do. Here we go. So this is just choked on my own air. Here's the consistency that I like. It's like a fudgy kind of brownie batter. You got to taste it because it's freaking good. And then I just use a little mini muffin scoop. This might have even been a cookie scoop. I don't know. But this way all the balls are uniform. And then you just roll them. And if you want to get real fancy with it, you can roll it in some cocoa powder. If you want to add a little bit of bitterness, you can roll it in some coconut flakes, like unsweetened coconut flakes. Like, you can get real fancy with this recipe. These were delicious. I'm gonna eat all of them, and I'm probably, by the time this goes up, I probably have. So here they are finished. I got 21, I think, but sometimes it's between 20 and 21. But I just put the recipe in the recipe builder. They're 3 to 4 points each, depending on how many you get. And then you store them in the fridge, and they're good for about a week. But they don't ever last that long in my house because all 3 of us eat them. So I just store them right here in the fridge. And that's how you do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.